Well, if there are two things that definitely go together, it's being nearly consumed alive in an alien digestive tract and participating in a wedding in front of all of your coworkers. It's 7 Pacific, it's Monday night, and we're here, and you're right there with us. It's Mission Log Live, and I'm John Champion.
And I'm Heather Ray Barker, and Q won't believe this, but we've got a cornucopia of content to discuss tonight because not one, but two episodes of Strange New Worlds dropped with the season premiere. So tonight we go from Gorn Hibernation in Hegemony Part 2 to Holy Matrimony in Wedding Bell Blues. And we want to hear it from you, all of you out there. I see you. So you know what to do. Call into the show. Stay active in the chat. Newbies, speak up. We know you're in there. We want to know who you are. It's okay if you're not ready yet. I hope that in time you will speak up and let us know you're out there. But we're a family here, so we want to meet you and say hi. But click the little hearts and the likes and the 100%. We need that for engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had made a funny joke that you should do that every time we've heard enough about the Gorn or Spapple. So those are good reasons to
Spapple.
engage. Yeah.
Spapple. I think I had that in a Pennsylvania Dutch restaurant one time. By the way, I'm so glad that you made a Q joke and a Gorn joke right at the top. We had those kind of bouncing around in our Slack. And I believe, would you say we went from hegemony to matrimony?
I wanted to do it, but I'm pronouncing it wrong. And we've already learned that I can't even say sabotage because it's wrong and my brain won't let me do it. So yes, and it was funny because like I wanted to use that last week and then look, here we are.
And then here
And
we
so
are.
hegemony and holy matrimony
I love
together at
it.
last.
All right. Now, all of you, do you think the crew will survive untraumatized from this harrowing brush with rom-com antics, or was it easier to defeat the Gorn than a mischievous Q? Well, let us know what you think tonight. Earl is standing by in the Earl Green Room to patch you through. We do ask that you pick one episode tonight that you want to discuss with us. We'll do them in order. First, part one, and then the second episode. And that's what we'll be doing tonight in double time.
So I'm here looking at the chat and about to say
Yes.
hi to everybody that's in there as we do. And I have to do a shout out here to Jim V, who says, "Wow, that's a lot of annual pass holder magnets." And yes, there are. I did trade for some of them, but yes, I did Disney freak here.
They're on
But
to you. Yes.
yeah, and I love them. They're little treasures. Don't steal them off of people's cars. It's rude.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. So like everybody is in the chat. All the polls. Let's see. Dave Takechi, Mona's in there. The Welch guy, you're new to me. Hi, nice to meet
Hey,
you.
Welch guy.
Um, let's see. Nani's in there. Mark is in there. Let's see. Joe, Funniest Frontier is in there. Like podcaster all over the place. John Arminio is there. I hope we're going to hear from him. I hope we're going to hear from Alan. Let's see. Mark Levesque is in here. Elizabeth's in here. Who am I
Awesome.
missing, John?
Uh,
Is there anybody? I mean, there has to be somebody.
there
I'm
might be, but
sorry.
welcome.
BC.
Yeah. Oh, BC. Hey, welcome one and all. So glad to see everyone. By the way, Funnest Frontier, I love your posts. Just a lot of fun, as is implied by the name. So well done, sticking true to your name. But welcome everybody. And as Heather said before, if you're new here, wave to us, give us a shout. And for that new person, everybody who's not new, make sure you welcome that new person. And we'd love to, of course, welcome anybody. If you're a regular caller, great. If you're new to us, join us. If you want to sit this one out and see how it works and then call us next time, you can do that too. But everybody is welcome here. Love to hear your thoughts on these two shows. All right, before we get into everything, though, Heather, some stuff happening with Roddenberry podcast. We'll make it quick, right?
Okay, yeah, really quick stuff. Mission log Voyager journey continues with body and soul. I don't remember what it's about.
Oh, it's so good. It's the one where the doctor's consciousness is in Seven after they get
Oh,
captured. Yeah. Oh my, Jerry Ryan just
oh,
so
yes.
good in that episode. Yep.
That's right. I've seen people talking about it in our Discord. We'll talk about that later, very
Yeah.
briefly. Genealogy, which I've made sure to say correctly, is on hiatus, as is Trek Files, but that means you can catch up on everything.
Yep.
So go back, dig in deep, go in the Roddenberry archive, find the most complete picture of Gene's creative work. There's a lot of stuff to go back and dig through. You can even go back to Mission Log with John and Ken
Yeah.
and TOS, because I'm watching TOS and I'm like, I haven't listened to those episodes in like 7 years.
Me either.
So go do that.
Excellent. Well, you can pick them all up at podcast.roddenberry.com. That's where you'll find all the links, either to go to your favorite podcatcher or over to the Mission Log site, but podcast.roddenberry.com. And before we get into the recap, Factory Entertainment. Wow, thank you to everybody who entered the giveaway and our friends over at Factory Entertainment. They're going to be at Comic-Con and at STLV. Make sure you tell them Mission Log sent you. Please, please do. Heather, have you been checking out the special items that they're premiering at SDCC, those exclusives?
We did. I mean, we've talked to them a little bit about like the Sword of Kallus, which I'm really excited to see. And the thing that caught my eye was actually not Star Trek. It was the Masters of Universe Shiva, Shira,
Uh,
Sword of Protection. Say it three times
yes.
fast. Because I'm a woman of the sword, and Shira was my first crush and the person I wanted to be when I was like 5 years old.
Nice.
So I would love to have it. It's the same size as my little batleth, not the itty bitty batleth, but the
Right.
bitleth.
Right, the bit left.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm excited about that. It doesn't need to be Star Trek for me to buy it.
Yeah, no, and there's cool Trek stuff. There's cool non-Trek stuff. I'm digging this Battlestar Galactica TOS old school Cylon rifle scaled prop replica. It looks so good. A lot of Trek stuff there. They even have some Jaws stuff celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So check it out, factoryent.com. Of course, if you do the exclamation point factoryent in our chat, you'll get all the details there, and exclamation point Factory SDCC to get some of those exclusives. If you're ordering off the regular site, use code MissionLog for 10% off your first order. Doesn't apply to the SDCC exclusives, but those are so great anyway. You don't need it. You just, you save that 10% for something else. But check them out at factoryent.com. All right, Heather and everybody else, I promised that I would make these just like embarrassingly short recaps so we could.
Efficient.
Yes, efficient. So we're going to get out of here in an hour to protect your time, everybody's time. And here we go. They're going to take calls about Hegemony 2. So here we go. The Gorn are still at it, but Pike and crew have got a plan. Ram the Gorn with a torpedo laced with a subspace traceable element, and then, get the hell out of there to regroup. The Federation is still hesitant to make things worse, so Pike goes rogue with a wink from Admiral April, using Scotty's prototype Gorn transponder to sneak into enemy space and rescue the captured landing party and colonists. Meanwhile, La'an, Mbenga, Ortegas, and Sam Kirk fight their way through the literal belly of a Gorn ship, arming themselves with weapons from the big old goo pile, fighting lizards, and stealing a Hunter-class vessel. Back on the Enterprise, a medical risk to save Batel, using Una's Illyrian blood and a synthetic plasma cocktail to dissolve the growing Gorn, allowing Batel's body to metabolize them. Ew! But cool. As the Gorn fleet emerges between two stars, Pike risks everything by turning the Enterprise into a synthetic solar flare, triggering the Gorn to go back and go into hibernation mode. From the Hunter ship, La'an transmits escape codes. Then the colonists are beamed out and the Gorn retreat. The Enterprise returns to Federation space and Batel awakens with a little prayer and a hug from Captain Pike. The end. There's a lot
That
more pages
rocks.
in the actual script.
Yeah, no, totally rocks. Beats my like 1800 Subspace Rhapsody, like 1800 word Subspace Rhapsody recap. So
You got
I'm
high
all for
praise.
the mini.
You got high praise from the people who wrote Subspace Rhapsody.
That's true.
So
That's
that's
true.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
One thing just I want to point out here that I liked about this episode, and I'll be very honest with you up front. As we get into these two, I was having kind of I won't say love-hate, but I was having some mixed feelings back and forth in these episodes. There are things that I liked, things that I didn't as much. I'm curious to hear what our callers say. But there's a moment at the top of this episode that felt like a really cool, modernized, fast version of what you get in the conference room of the Enterprise D in early next gen. So, it's Pike. What do we do? I need your ideas now. Boom, 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 boom. That's the one. I
Yep.
just I love the efficiency. Of course, they are under fire, they are under duress, but it played so nicely. What else?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. I liked both of them, honestly. I appreciated the lighter tone of Wedding Bell Blues after all
Mm,
the heaviness of the Gorn
yep,
and putting
yep.
that away. I literally thought Ortegas was gonna die, because we know that some of these characters, they're not in the future.
Yeah, they're not
Um,
necessarily safe. Yeah.
And in some of the interviews that I have read, some of the big names, Akiva and Henry Alonso Myers, have both said things like those characters are at risk. However, uh,
Hmm.
they're they're also doing a good job of having a show where everybody doesn't have to die.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm kind of hopeful, especially with what happened here, that none of our favorites are going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to end up still there and just somewhere else. When we get to TOS, they're off in Ryza. I don't know, like they're
Right.
there. So yeah, I thought it was a nice way to wrap up. I thought it still had like the good momentum from the part one.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
and then I love is it Reese Darby or Rice? Reese?
I thought it was rice, but I might be
Is it?
wrong. Please, somebody correct me. We know you
Yes,
will.
please
Yeah.
somebody correct us if you know when you
It is
call in,
Reese. It's
especially. I
Reese.
adore him
Yeah.
in Our Flag Meets Death. I knew he wasn't gonna be more than a guest appearance.
Yeah.
So I, I really liked this episode. I just
Yeah.
thought it was fun and I loved the visuals of the episode. I don't know. I like the craziness of the serious to the delightful and fun.
I agree. See, we did need a breather. We needed something to break the tension after a very heavy episode. And I thought, wow, Ortegas really took a beating in Hegemony Part 2. I didn't think they'd kill her off, so I'm glad that she survived, lives to see another day. But wow, they really pushed her to the limit. And we needed something a little light and fun after that. But let's see what our callers think. Let's go over to our first caller, who is Mark. Mark, how's it going tonight? Good to see you.
Good, John and Heather. Hello. I
Hi.
wanted to start by saying I brought something for the Gorn. Hopefully, it'll help. The only other thing I could think of is
They're
maybe to
very
get.
hungry. They're,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
well, I think partially they also need a Snickers bar, so they'll turn back into the Gorn from Toss. It's just they're missing that.
There we
Uh,
go. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think we just need a giant space Snickers bar and give it to the Gorn. But no, I actually wanted to come here and talk about Scotty in this episode.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I think it's really interesting to see Scotty before he's become the miracle worker that we're used to. So we're seeing how we get to see in this episode how he's starting to develop his ability to be your miracle worker, where he can make something. He'll say he'll have it done in 4 hours and he'll have it done in two. Uh, to quote the line of the miracle worker engineer that he becomes known for in Toss and into the
yeah,
movies. And I think that's neat to see that he's not there yet, but he will be. And I think that's great to see. We haven't really had a chance to see Scotty as a younger character because he was already well established in his 40s by the time we saw him on Toss, the original series
yeah.
Toss, compared to that. So one who's been out of the academy for a little bit of time, but still isn't quite there yet, and maybe getting over the loss of his ship. I think, depending on that, depending on things, I think is really exciting to build that depth because, even in the Calvin timeline, he was fairly well established as Scotty, so they have more of a chance to play with him a bit. And I think that's really nice because I always felt that he was got some of the least characterization outside of him being Scottish and him being able to do amazing things. And so it's a chance to dig a little deeper, I'm hoping, depending on how many more times that we get to see him.
I love that scene with Pelia and Scotty. It's so good when she runs in frantic, oh, we're about to enter Gorn space. You got to have it now. And he does. So he just needed that bit of motivation to get going, but then indeed, maybe that is kind of what cements his reputation or at least his approach going forward. Really like that. Also, I have never seen Martin Quinn in anything until now, and I had to look up an interview with Martin Quinn because I wanted to hear his natural speaking voice, and pretty much it's Scotty. So I was really pleased to hear that because I think you could watch this and go like, oh, he's doing a James Doohan, he's doing this heavy Scottish accent. That's him. That's what he sounds like. It was great. Yeah, and as somebody actually as Roddenberry Entertainment questions in the chat here, what if Scotty lies about how much time it'll take so he looks like a miracle worker? I think that is also kind of a lower decks thing that we've learned, under promise, over deliver, right?
And you got to make the buffer time. Like you got to work in buffer time.
You got to have
So
buffer
you've got
time.
a little extra just in
Yeah.
case.
Hello, Relics. He talks about that in Relics as well from TNG. If you go back and listen to the mission log episode, he mentions how you do a little bit of that as well to make it look good. You say a certain amount of time and you deliver it in like you say 4, you deliver it in 2, you say 6, you deliver it in 4, or something like that. So he works in that principle, and it's canon because he mentions it to Geordi and Relics.
Yeah.
But he was a little drunk at the time, maybe, when he said that.
Which also we introduced this thing about Scotty having a drink that I don't really touch this stuff. But then he tries the Vulcan, whatever the food was, and like, nope, going straight for the booze.
Yeah.
Also a fun bit.
The beginning of his alcoholism starts here. Starts now. It is Reese Darby, by the way.
Yes.
Thanks to everybody in the
thank
chat
you.
for confirming that.
Yes, good call. We hopefully you didn't miss the poll. Is Scotty a con man? Results are in the chat. Nicely done. All right, Mark, any other thoughts here before we go to our next caller?
No, but now I'm going to crack my food that I'm going to give to the Gorn and share some with them now that
Excellent.
I'm done.
Keep the Gorn happy. I appreciate that, Mark. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. Chris from somewhere in the clouds. Chris, how's it going tonight?
I'm doing good. Hanging out in the nebula, hanging out with the Enterprise back there. It's real
As one
tiny, but
does.
it's back there. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so talk about hegemony. One thing that I really, really liked, and he's always good, but was especially this week, was Anson was phenomenal in just sort of conveying the weight of everything. And there were a couple times where he puts his hand on his face and I was like, oh, that's Jeffrey Hunter. Like you could see it. I was like, oh, this is the link. And so I was very much impressed with what he did this week. Yeah.
Nicely said, and hard agree. And that is actually my final note on my list here about this episode, that scene with him and Battelle at the end. And please, I'm sure that any of you or people in our audience can remind me of the episode in Discovery with Pike. They're on a planet. There is some question about kind of messing with the religious, spiritual traditions.
New
Eden.
Yeah.
Right. And we start to get into this thing about what are Pike's beliefs or lack of, and how does that intersect with where they are. And here, wow, he is just driven to this point where it's the last thing that he has to hold on to. And I think for me, I'm sort of tucking this away until we get into a much deeper discussion on mission logs some years from now. But I love the idea of going back to that episode Discovery and connecting this part of his character, figure out what got him there. Because he is a guy who has been through a lot, who knows his own fate, who has that weight on him anyway. But this is a moment that is a really defining personal relationship, sort of existential question for him. Like, who am I? What do I want? What is my, who am I with this person in my life? It was great. And he was wonderful in it.
Absolutely. I would say even if you hadn't watched Discovery, if you had just come to Strange New Worlds, think back to the Lower Decks crossover. And it's less, but I didn't always see eye to eye with my dad. And that whole thing
Yeah.
about he's older now, and so even if you had never seen New Eden, you would still know that he had a somewhat complicated relationship. And I think that scene still really works, even without the disco stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Anything else in this episode?
I'll just say I love the cinematography of the star, of the shaky cam, and the sort of washed out overexposure. That was really well done. So good job, cinematography team.
Yeah. Looked really good. I thought the action stayed appropriately consistent, appropriately intense through the whole thing. I like that we had a little bit of a breather. The Enterprise is battered when you go back and he has this meeting with April. You have a moment of calm before you get back to everything else. But yeah, shot really nicely. Lighting was really good. I've noticed that we haven't had, unlike, say, TOS days, where you have a lot of Shatner as Kirk, this is definitely more of an ensemble cast. And yes, Pike, Anson's portrayal of Pike, is the captain, but I feel like just percentage-wise, there's a lot less of him than you would have compared to Kirk in TOS. But I also feel like they really do get the best moments out of him. And I'll save what is my favorite moment in the next episode. I think everybody already knows what that is, but he is terrific in the next episode. But even it's just a tiny amount, but he's so good. Excellent. Well, Chris, if not any final thoughts, and we'll go on to our last caller for this segment.
Yeah, that was better. I know everyone. We got to keep our tight five here, so I'll let you guys go. But yeah, look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So let us move on here to John Arminio. John, what is on your mind tonight?
Hi,
Hey there.
I am the religious commentary guy, I guess.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Whatever you say, I'm stealing the good stuff to put in our mission log episode years from now. Yeah.
feel free.
Smart.
Yeah. So just piggybacking a little bit off of that moment that Chris was discussing. We got Pike began to say the Our Father.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found to be a pretty powerful moment, and it's interesting that Star Trek as a franchise, its raison d'etre is very humanist, and what we as humans can accomplish ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very comfortable showcasing alien spirituality, whether it's the Bajorans or the Vulcans or the Klingons who have killed their gods.
Right.
But it very rarely ventures into humans exhibiting their spirituality. Even the examples we've had are Worf's adopted parents are culturally Jewish. So I just found it so interesting that, here in this moment of crisis, Pike is allowed to have this moment of vulnerability, and in that moment he chooses to pray, which is something that I don't think we've seen a human character do in Star Trek in the past, at least as far as I can remember.
Wow. That is a good point. We may not have. We have seen glimpses of human religions, acknowledgement of human religions, but yeah, certainly not driving a character in a personal way like that. So yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
yeah, it is a great moment. And just speaking to somebody who's Catholic, your opinions of Catholicism is also very much intertwined with how you feel about your parents. So the fact that him talking to his dad and then praying feels very appropriate.
Interesting. Yeah, I look forward to a really deep discussion on that
Yeah.
when we roll around to it. And I have to wonder if this is something, if this is a reveal about Pike
Mhm.
that will then have any ramifications the further along we go. You know, we've got a full 2.5 seasons to go
Yeah,
still with these characters and with Pike. And Pike, every step of the way, is getting closer and closer to the fate that we know he can't escape. So, how does that inform whatever his beliefs are and,
yeah.
you know, whatever spirituality he's carrying with him? So, yeah, very curious to see how that goes. Any other thoughts tonight about the
Just
episode?
that I'm hoping we get a real deep dive into Ortega's and how she's dealing with the trauma that she experienced. Especially because she's the character who's most dependent on her physical skills. So for people who lose limbs experience phantom pains, they have trouble rehabilitating. So is she going to lose her piloting skills, or or are we going to get to see her struggling through that? So I hope we get to see the consequences of that, just because she's such a fantastic character, such a fantastic actress, and we deserve more Ortegas in our Stranger Worlds.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mortegas. Yeah,
Yeah,
Heather, you're
absolutely.
a hard agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've really gone off on that in the Discord chat as of recent because to me, like as I said in the chat, we still don't know that much about her.
Hmm.
We know that she is a pilot. We know that she's from Colombia. We know that she has a brother. Finally, we get some more information. She's amazing. She's badass. And like we know more about Scotty right now than we do about Erica Ortegas. And my only fear is that we get the PTSD slightly addressed and not sufficiently addressed or addressed in a way that's truly important, that relates to the world today because there are a lot of people that have PTSD, and there's an important opportunity to put some information out there, even
Absolutely.
if it's just that the support of your crew is essential to you being okay. It's okay for everybody to ask for help, like basic things Star Trek has said before, but if we don't take the opportunity to do that, then what's the point of showcasing it at all than to put this character through more pain? And meanwhile, we have poor Mbenga, who, the last time we really saw him dealing, I'm trying to think in the we saw some of Laan's PTSD. We saw some of her flashbacks
Hmm.
in the hegemonies.
Yeah.
We didn't really see anything from Mbenga. We went through everything with Mbenga last season, and then he was skipping around in Subspace Rhapsody, so we didn't even really deal with his PT. So again, I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
looking for something more substantial because that is so important, and the Star Trek that I love takes the time to address important things like that.
Yeah. As someone who is in therapy, it's very easy for me to tell other people that it's okay to ask for help and to go into therapy and to be honest with your feelings. But it's another thing to put that in practice. So
Yeah,
you can certainly have someone like Ortega struggle with actually asking for help when
Yeah.
she
yeah,
needs it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Good stuff. Excellent, John. Well, thank you so much, and
Thank
we'll
you.
look forward to the next time we get to chat with you. All right. Take care. Heather, you want to say a few words about Patreon?
Oh my
Hmm?
gosh, about how much I love Patreon and Patreon's number one fan. I mean, well, I'm the Discord's number one fan
Discord.
because
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
face it, I do support our Patreon. I never go on Patreon. I
Right.
don't watch the episodes on YouTube. I love your all's faces, but I just
Oh,
don't. Sorry, I don't watch them.
it's fair.
I'm here for Discord. I'm here for everyone in there that I have gotten to know and all the new people that come in that get to know us. I know that when we say Star Trek's a family or we're a family, like everybody says that, and a lot of people don't. That's not what the community is. But I truly feel like, if anything, we have such a strong camaraderie, that we are the crew of a ship, at least.
Yeah.
And we get together in various occasions, but coming up in 2 weeks,
Yep.
just wild to me.
Yeah.
Star Trek Las Vegas is our annual party, which Paul and Michelle Harvith are so kind to throw. And then we have a committee of people that help plan that as well. And if you are a patron, you get to go to that party, but you have to be on the list. You have to let Paul Harvith know
That's
that
right.
you are a patron, you're going to STLV, and you want to go to the party. It's on Wednesday night. That's all I'm going to tell you. You
Yeah.
need to be there Wednesday night. It is your only chance to meet John Champion.
Well, not forever and ever.
Well, not forever and ever, but at
But there.
STLV, like
But there, that'll
otherwise,
be-
Roddenberry's not there.
Yeah.
Go right to creation.
And
but
let's not forget many other Roddenberry podcast hosts. So I will be there. You will be there. Shar will be there. I think Marina will be there. Maybe Captain Mike. He's in the chat. He should let us know. Holly will be there. So there's a lot of us who will be there. And like Heather said, the way you do this is very easy. You sign up for Patreon. That kicks you into our Discord, and you can send a message directly there to Paul Harvith and say, I would love to be on that list and learn more about the STLV party. You have to be on the list to get in. Very private, very exclusive, but a lot of fun. And as you were saying, the level of conversation, I love reading, especially coming into a show like this tonight. Everybody chatting about what they liked, what they didn't like. And here's the thing, it's not painful bickering. It's people with really insightful, thoughtful examinations of what we're watching. And that is what I love about our community. And that conversation continues because you have the whole live events that we do in Discord almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day. In fact, Heather, you can tell us about Strange New Worlds happening.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So next week,
Yep.
next Tuesday, 8 p.m. I will start us talking about Strange New Worlds. So we will follow the episode that we talked about on Mission Log Live the night before. So the episode comes out Thursday, and then we will talk about that the following Tuesday in the Discord chat. So if you aren't the type of person that wants to call into the show, but you still want to talk about the episode, then you can come join me and everyone else and share your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you're done with the Gorn, like me, done with the Gorn.
Yeah.
Tell me all your Q opinions. But
Yeah.
we love it. Kon-Tiki Wednesday nights, which is like convention inspired chat. We have a great time. If you're a mission logger, you know all about After Dark, where John and usually Norm, one or both are there.
And Earl.
And Earl.
Yeah.
And Shar, like everybody's there. That's our most like popular one to talk about the episode.
Special shout out. I know that Shar is watching, or at least listening because she was doing other things. You do not want to miss Shar's hot takes in After Dark, because that is where the gloves come off. And I wait every week until like kind of late in the discussion, right before it's burrito time, and Shar comes in with that perfectly expressed comment about Voyager. You don't want to miss it, but I'm not going to spoil it. You got to be there in Discord. So do that, sign up, patreon.com/missionlog. That will get you into our Patreon. That will get you into our Discord. And it is a whole lot of fun from there. By the way, Captain Mike says he will be there in Vegas. So that is a nice representation of the Roddenberry podcast family who will all be there. So make sure you're there too. Okay. So let's get back to the show. After I remind everybody, patreon.com/missionlog. There you go. I did it again. Exclamation point. Patreon. You know what to do. Do all that. All right. So season 3, episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues. You ready?
Go for it.
Okay, here we go. While the Enterprise undergoes repairs at Starbase 1, Spock gives himself a quick wardrobe check before Chapel's return, only for her to beam aboard with her new boyfriend, Dr. Roger Corby. Speaking of new people, there's a Vulcan bartender who warps reality, and Spock wakes up engaged to Chapel with their wedding just a few days away. The mysterious bartender/wedding planner also takes the guise of the Andorian wedding officiant And in all of this, he is definitely messing with people's realities on the Enterprise. Only Corby seems to remember the truth, and after Spock punches him, the illusion starts to unravel. Together, they trace it back to the intruder, and while they don't really know who he is, Trelane, they do realize he's up to something that falls between a test and outright mischief. Cut to the wedding. Spock uses a poetic reference to Jolt Chapel's memory just in time to stop the ceremony. The mysterious intruder, Trelane, threatens chaos, but is shut down by his glowing green dad, who has a very familiar voice and sends everyone back to reality. Pike gives an impromptu Federation Day speech, and the crew celebrates with drinks and dancing, including Spock and La'an showing off their moves. But a quiet moment alone for Ortegas in the gym ends with a vision of the Gorn watching. The end. Dun dun dun.
Okay.
So Heather, was it Trelane?
Go to Discord. You can join the conversation that we've been having about who it may or may not have been.
Okay.
Or the other conversation, which Dave Takechi in the chat here. What was Corby's accent? I don't recall the same accent in TOS.
Okay, here's the you take John, you wind me up, and I'll do an hour on stage somewhere about Corby's accent. Okay, but I'll give you a taste. This is what I put in Discord, right? Okay, you have a character like Chapel, who we met in TOS, and sounds a certain way, and granted, this is a new show, new cast, and we're not trying to do a carbon copy. That would be crazy. But this is a character who we heard sound a certain way. So you take an Australian actor like Jess Bush, and hey, Jess, can you do an American accent? Just sound a little more like the character that you're portraying? Sure. Boom. Knocks it out of the park. Great. And then Corby, who we met one time, definitely did not sound Irish. Or a weird blend of mid-Atlantic, Irish, a little bit of Scottish in there. That's what fooled me. And I just think like, well, if you're hired for, maybe if you're the actor, how's this? I'm giving away my whole show, right? How's this? You get hired for the role and you go, you know what? Dr. Corby was only in one episode of Star Trek TOS. Maybe I should go back and watch it. And then maybe go to the director or the producers and say, hey, that guy sounds this way, I sound this other way. And what do the producers say? Like, no, just create your own accent. just do whatever feels right.
This is my favorite thing, John, because I'm going to be really honest. I didn't care about the accent at all.
I'm good. I hope most people don't care about the accent. You should not care about this to the extent that I care about this.
I made a joke in Discord that I was more offended by like the bad pour on the Guinness.
Yeah.
At the bar.
Okay. I saw so many memes about that. I'm glad to see.
Shout out to Sean Ferrick, who I think like did a whole thing about that too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But no, I love it because again, these episodes, there's all these random differences and things that get people fired up and then other people don't care. And again, this is something we've talked about it. I don't mean to keep like telling you to go to Discord, but it's why I love our Discord so much. And it's my favorite place on the internet is just because we talk about these things and it's really entertaining and everybody gets to have an opinion. Okay.
Exactly.
Look, it's Jim.
It's Jim. Jim's
Welcome at the wedding.
Jim. All right.
I'm at the wedding.
Oh, nice. Well, dearly beloved. Yeah. Okay. Welcome, Jim. How's it going
And John,
today?
just one thing about the accents. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I'll leave it at that.
You know what? Okay. Although, all right, my favorite explanation is in our Discord. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to, because somebody nailed my favorite explanation. That is a Discord exclusive. Yeah.
John's bringing the.
I am. Yeah. Dropping the accent hammer. right there. All right, Jim, what is on your mind tonight other than me getting entirely too worked up about this?
Yeah, no, I had 2 points. Like one, you got Spock and Chapel getting married, and you're not gonna have any family members that we're aware of at the wedding.
Oh my gosh, what a good opportunity to have brought back our Amanda and Sarek from Discovery.
Yeah, or to introduce
Oh,
any member of the Chapel family.
yes.
And the
Oh,
other, like, you're not gonna try and in some way put T'Pring into the plot of the episode.
I know. Okay, and I want more T'Pring in my
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, yeah, she's probably
Right.
off somewhere getting her whatever on with Stan, but still,
Right.
she does, she wants to get the separation done the legal way.
Yep. Yep. Those are good points, man. Yeah. Oh, Earl actually just nailed it in
Yes,
forward.
I see that too.
Cybok crashes the wedding.
Yes.
That's the
Love it.
episode I want. Yep. Because
And then
we introduced Cybok.
We
We just
did.
haven't had Cybok come back. And
Yeah.
Will we
They
ever
noticed it.
see Cybok again? No one knows.
yeah, that's true. And then the other big point I had was like Spock and Corby, the ultimate odd couple. Like
Yes.
those two working together to beat, and I do agree, he is Trelane and the thing at the end, Q, Q, Q.
Yeah.
I do agree with all of that. Those two working together to beat them, like I said, the ultimate odd couple. Like you don't expect that pairing ever in Star Trek.
Yeah, well, and Heather, I'll ask you because you said you went back to watch, or did you get around to it to rewatch
No,
What Are Little Girls Made Of?
I did. I
Yeah,
did. And I mean, you're not gonna lace those together well with the character.
yeah.
I can't go down this road
Okay.
because the show will be too long because I just have problems with the relationship as it is to begin with. And
Oh,
so
sure.
my brain goes to I don't like romanticizing Corby at all. I think
Yeah.
that in What Little Girls Are Made Of, like clearly Corby is trash. Like we
Yeah,
see what
getting from where
happens
he
to
is there
him.
here to there is
Yeah.
just
Right.
a mind stretch.
Well, and hopefully, like we'll see more. We'll see that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Hopefully.
gonna happen the rest of the season, but
Yeah.
I hope that we see something that
Interesting.
kind of
Yeah, I hope so too. And then
implies.
I'll just
Go
end
ahead. I don't
on
want to
one
take your
note here.
time, Jim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just end on one note here and then hand it over to Alan. George Michael is canon.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is in my notes, my friend. Yes, Wham! Make it to the 23rd century. I'm very
Yes.
happy about that. All right, Jim, take care.
Right.
Till next
And
time.
fun as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have to say something after we introduce Alan.
Oh,
Or
please, well, and
before.
actually, before we bring in Alan, I now that you mention it, like now I'm really curious to see how can we change the character of Corby to actually get to the guy that we see in What Are Little Girls Made Of? Because you're right, very different. It's not just the accent, but fundamentally there is something very different. Now, granted, he is Robo Corby at that point. But now I feel like somebody has stolen a perfectly good Halloween costume opportunity from me, which is how do you make, sexy Corby, which should not be a thing. But now Strange New Worlds has tried to do it. They say, look, we got
Yeah.
Dr. Corby in TOS. Now we're going to make sexy Corby. And
Mhm.
I would have just done that as, purely for comedy.
And romanticizing Corby, which
I
I don't
know.
like because of the power
Yeah.
dynamics. And that's
Yeah.
a road we're not going to go on because that's another whole episode of Mission Log. Very quickly,
I
before we
love it.
bring
Yeah.
on beloved Alan,
Yes.
there's a poll in the chat. Who was
Yeah.
best dressed at the wedding? And
Oh,
the answer is Chapel. And I need to share
yeah.
the designer of that dress is an Australian Indigenous designer who is a weaver. And I put some information in our Discord. Ding ding. Like,
All right.
nice.
Nice.
Every time I say
Yeah, yeah.
Discord, do the heart. That's what I
There.
should have said at the beginning of the show. I did not plan this. I'm sorry. But it's a hand weaving process. And her name is Grace Lillian Lee. I just Bush posted about the dress on Instagram and tagged Grace Lillian Lee on Instagram. So I went
Right.
and followed her and kind of learned about the weaving and checked out her other dresses and art. And she did like a mock-up of one of the dresses that wasn't worn was in her. So go check her out. Like I just thought it was really lovely that Strange New Worlds reached out to a designer like that to make such an absolutely stunning and beautiful dress. And my favorite thing about this episode by far was the costuming. I thought everything was gorgeous, except for Corby. So,
Look, I gotta say, yeah, I thought I love it when Star Trek does civilian clothing anyway, because most of the time they get it horribly wrong. But in this episode, everybody looked amazing. I'm a Jess Bush fan anyway. I thought that dress was incredible. It was so cool. But my other big note here, my other shout out, Uhura's orange civilian outfit.
yes,
That fire, absolute fire,
it's in my notes
amazing.
too.
Somebody make an action figure of that
Yeah.
because it was great. All right, let's
Okay.
welcome Alan. Yeah, Alan, welcome to the show.
Hold on. There we go.
Oh,
Sorry, it was.
there you are. No problem.
I was. Yeah. Sorry. It's a.
No, we're
It's a hectic
sorry.
night. Yeah. I just came from the Earl green room.
Yeah.
There's a big queue there,
Things
so we're
are
going to try to
hopping.
make this the short version.
All right.
So we're just going to get right into it. Hi, Heather. Hi, John.
Hi there.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like this was a bad week for what we're calling him Spackle, right? Is that the name?
Spapple.
Um,
Spapple.
Spackle, yeah.
That's awesome.
Feel like a song got them into this problem a couple weeks ago, canon time, and there might not be an improbability field to get them out of it if they ever decide to get back together. So here we go. Spock, I'd love you so, and that's no shock. I'd look at you and see the passion of Ponfar. But will I ever need to book an open bar? I was on your side, Spock, when you were human. I know that you need proof now, there's no assuming, but logic alone is dooming me till you marry me, Spock. I love you so can we talk? I know your Vulcan heart desires those ties that bind. But am I ever gonna meld more than your mind? I can hold your Katra, no need to fake it. It's a lot to ask, so no need, you know you can take it. Don't make me use Kunut Caliphate till you marry me, Spock. I love you so. But can you grok? You say emotion rules my heart. You can't go far, can't go far. But we know you're never gonna finish Kolinar. So come on, Spock. Whoa, come on, Spock. Come on and marry me, Spock. Got Vulcan wedding bell blues. Come on and marry me, Spock. Got Vulcan wedding bell blues.
Wow. Oh my God. Rob, see, we're gonna get another warning from
Another,
YouTube now. You know?
yeah.
No. Oh no.
Parody, free, fair use
You're
under
right.
copyright law. I'll praise and do credit to both the late great Laura Nyro
Yeah.
and Marilyn McCoo and Billy Joe Davis.
There we go.
Billy Davis. Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Oh my God. Fantastic. Was
But
not
Talented.
expecting a Marilyn McCoo tonight. So
Yeah.
well done. Yeah.
we're going to the fifth dimension. What can I say?
I love it. All right. Well, Alan, any feelings about the episode other than your musical inspiration?
Well, we got another slight little record drop. This episode may have had the Wham song,
Yep.
but in the last one, they got the Gordon Fleet out of the way. they made the ship shine bright like Doris Day.
Beautiful. Well done.
Good. Everyone in the chat loved the song.
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you.
A major happiness, and yeah, everybody's yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I also just I want to keep this short. I just wanted to, I guess, wrap up my comments today by saying that this episode touches on a thing that a lot of fans have sort of believed for a while, and I have as well. And I just want to give a shout out to the late great man who first put the idea in my head. So thank you, Peter
Yes.
David,
Hey,
Yes,
right
thank you,
on.
Peter David.
for
Nice.
making that connection, I think, before maybe anybody else, at least officially. So,
Yeah.
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 and on that
Nice.
note, assimilator. We'll see you next time.
Simulator friend. Be good. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring in Paul, our party
Hey,
commander
what's going on?
extraordinaire. How
Hey,
you
nothing
doing,
like
Paul?
following Alan. At least I got Bonnie Gordon's shirt on, but oh, good Lord.
Oh, by
All
the way,
about that space. I was
big,
looking at the
big
shirt.
shout out to KL Bliss Dish. I hope I got that right. For the donation. Really appreciate it. Thank
Is that
you.
what that is? I was
Yeah.
like, there's money. There's money in there?
I know. Thank you. Doing it right. Everybody follow their lead. You still owe me shuffleboard, John Champion. You're on. Hopefully we're doing the cruise next year. I don't know. We'll see. And if not, we'll do a cruise out here. We'll see. All right. Sorry about that. How's it going, Paul?
Well, no, it's perfect. She delayed me having to follow Alan, so that's good. We got okay. So this episode, one major distraction, and Michelle and I were watching this, and particularly after Battelle lived, we got that out of it. But that Gorn episode once again was just edgy, on edge.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I've had enough. But so this one had such a distraction that I didn't even realize the Trelane thing was happening. I just thought the person was sort of entertaining. But when they opened this episode with, I'll preface this that Michelle and I met dancing.
Oh,
we
nice.
were ice dancers, and we met at an ice dancing festival in north of Toronto. A year and a half later, we were married, then became competitive adult ice dancers. That's different than the Olympic track, but we loved ice dancing so much that that's what we did. We saw our two favorite characters opening this show dancing. I mean,
so good.
Spock is
so good.
Such an amazing actor and such an amazing human. And then if you ever get a chance to meet Christina Chong, she just became even more perfect. First of all, she's in Doctor Who with the 11th Doctor in a very pivotal episode. So I never thought there'd be a chance to meet her. And she shows up in Star Trek, and I got to meet her last year, and it's just like the greatest thing ever. So cool. She's in Doctor Who. She sings. She has a album out ish. She's in Trek, and now she's a ballroom dancer. So I was so distracted by the fact that this woman has just become like perfect in my eyes.
She's a quintuple threat, as it were. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. Would pay money to see her on any stage wherever she goes.
Oh yeah.
Stand there and dance and sing a little bit and tell us about Star Trek and Doctor Who, and that'd be fine. So, that sounds like a convention to me. Star Trek Las Vegas.
There we go.
So when Trelane actually hit, I was like, oh, wasn't that clever? Just so yay.
All right. Here's the thing. I do not mean to yuck your yum. That is not the point in me saying this. My only quibble here is that what I actually wanted was to, canonize the Trelane Q amalgam. Yes, make Trelane part of the Q or Q adjacent, whatever that thing may be, because it just makes sense. I think it's a cool idea. And of course, Peter David came up with that in the novels. Go ahead and put it on screen. Love that. What I didn't love was trying to put a button on it. No, it's his son, and he's this age, and this is the like defined relationship. I didn't need that. Like I just wanted to go like, yeah, of course Trelane exists in the Q continuum, or at least the Q continuum know about the Trelane continuum, or whatever that thing may be. Like there's crossover there. They coexist. They know who each other are. That's where I needed it to land for me. But
I didn't care.
good.
I
Good.
saw Christina Chong was dancing. That's
And
all.
then just took you out
That's
of it. All
enough.
right. Yeah. Good.
They could.
Good.
I'll play the episode 10 more times. It's so gratifying to see actors get to show their skills outside of this little box that we put them in.
Yeah.
And just amazing. I sort of appreciated the sort of gentle landing that Spock came to grips with this whole thing, because it was pretty anxious driven. It was just so hard those first few 15 minutes, and the look on Jess Bush's face was so telling. Like, oh my God, they're such good actors. This is an incredible cast of actors, and I will be sad when they disappear from each other.
Same here. Yeah.
Love you guys. Great to see you. See you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Can't
Lots
wait.
of news going on. So stay in touch. I'll try to drop in the next 2 weeks, and then we'll see you in Vegas.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Paul.
Hugs. See y'all.
Have a great one. Bye. All right. Excellent. Hey, let's say hello to a new caller, our last caller of the night. We've got Julian. Everybody say hi to Julian. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Hi, for having me. It's good to be here. This is Jeff.
It's good to meet you.
I just wanted to say a few things, a couple quick things. I'm with Heather 100% about Corby. I really wanted to like this episode more than more than I did overall. I don't care for Corby. I mean, I even know that like Majel Roddenberry herself hated that character. And so like when that she kind of gave up her career to chase him across the universe, and I don't know why they had to bring him in. I mean, I guess just because it's canon, but yeah, that's all. I don't know. And the whole Trelane thing was very cute, but I don't know. I think that I love Reese Darby, but I don't know. I felt very odd about that whole thing, and it was like that Futurama episode more than anything. With the being, he's like, so he's just a child. He's just a child. He's like, he's 38 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It felt very cartoonish in the way. So, but still, I liked both episodes a lot, and I just wish I'd liked them more, because like you said, John, it's just it feels a little, I don't know, shoehorn, like, I don't know, not necessary, as you said.
Well, you know what? That's where I am. I like it when Star Trek nails comedy. And I think in the last several years, we've seen Lower Decks, of course, do a great job with comedy. Strange New Worlds has really allowed the comedy to come from the characters, and they've allowed themselves to do comedic episodes that don't feel they don't feel cringy. They just feel like, okay, it's kind of a style experiment, and that's cool. I think it works. Look, one of my favorite laugh out loud moments in this episode, right at the beginning, Spock holding up his shirts, like they did it perfectly. You just show, don't tell, and it was perfect. So I wanted something light after we had the Gorn story. We needed to catch our breaths a little bit.
I was also very much hoping that we were done with the Gorn, and then like they show up.
Yeah.
Okay, but
well, let me ask you this, Julian. Do you feel like I appreciate the idea of building a Spock-Chapel relationship that informs what we get in TOS, and I think that I've gotten enough of that. Maybe there's a little more to mine there, but I think I've gotten plenty. And that's fine. It helps me to watch TOS and go, oh, sure, that's where they're coming from.
Right.
With Corby, do you think you could have gotten through the whole Strange New Worlds series, and if we didn't have Corby at all, you're fine with going into TOS and go like, oh, okay, this is somebody who we never met, but it doesn't matter. We get enough backstory anyway.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You and Heather are both in agreement here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This in today's Star Trek, we do not need to portray relationships that are teacher student. That is
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say there. Like,
Yeah.
and romanticizing him. The only thing, okay, no, I'm not going to go there. We'll be here forever again. So no, I'm not doing it.
That's a perfect place to say goodnight then. Heather will save her thoughts for Discord or elsewhere.
Well, I do want to say one more thing. With
please.
With the Restarby, the line, I can do anything I want. I'm a wedding planner.
Yes.
That was very funny.
Yes. I wrote that one down. I thought that was a great line. Yeah. Excellent. Well, Julian, thanks for calling in for the first time, and please don't be a stranger. Come back, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you next time. Heather, do we hit all the important points tonight?
I think we did. I don't even know all the stuff that I put in my notes. But yeah, no, I'm just always happy to hear what everyone has to say. I feed off of your joy. And, even with our criticisms, I still, always come away from these conversations like so energized and happy and excited that I get to do this and talk about Star Trek with everybody. So like, yay, and we get to do it a bunch more for the rest of the season. Okay, well, I guess 8 more times. Not enough times.
No.
But yeah, let's see. Okay, next week is Shuttle to Kinfori.
Yes.
And I did see Mbenga.
Okay.
I don't know if that means it's an Mbenga episode.
I guess we'll find out.
But we shall see.
Well, cheers to doing more. And by the way, I didn't get to mention my favorite Pike moment, that impromptu speech at the end of the wedding was
oh my God.
Absolute gold. So there is the gold standard of Star Trek doing comedy because it comes from the character, not because we've contrived the funny moment. It was so pure and so hilarious. Great job, Anson. You always do a great job, but that moment was gold. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think I'm just forgiving of a lot of things because this series brings me joy. It brings me levity when times are dark.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful. Like, yeah, we get heavier episodes, but I still, like, even in Hegemony, there were core parts of Star Trek where we want to save everybody. Even the people outside of the Federation deserve to be saved. And those are things I really need to be here, to like be reminded of and hear, and to know that's in people's brains. That's important. And so I'm excited to see what else we got.
I am too. Well said, and more to come. And with that, Mission Log Live is produced by Roddenberry Entertainment. Technical production on Mission Log and Mission Log Live by the inviolate Earl Green. Be sure to visit podcast.roddenberry.com for the latest from Roddenberry Podcasts. If you would like to support Mission Log directly, give us a look at patreon.com/missionlog. Thank you to everyone who joined us live or later. We look forward to seeing you all next week.